Boom! So what we're today is talk about fast gainers, easy gainers versus slow gainers, hard gainers. So that's a very good question here. A lot of times people we feature in these videos, the top bodybuilders in the world, top powerlifters in the world, top strongmen in the world. So obviously, someone more than likely that's at that level at least has decent genetics. So we're not gonna lie here and say everybody in these videos started off 89 pounds their senior year in high school, and that now they're 300 pounds with 3% body fat. So let's talk today more about the slow gainer. So interestingly enough, my mentor, Dr. Fred Hatfield, did some experiments. So in this chart you're going to see in the video here, what this is he took hundreds of people and he tested them out in all sorts of different lifts. So for all sorts of different body parts, like leg presses, bench presses, leg extensions, leg curls, all sorts of different lifts. And he'd find out what their 1 repetition max was in these lifts. Then he would do 80. Then he'd have them do 80% of it for a maximum set. So how many times you do 80% of your max for 1 set? So interestingly enough, it ranged from like 4 reps on one side of the continuum up to like 21 plus on the other side of the continuum. So what he observed and we talked about it a lot. And further is generally people that were able to get less reps. So like the people that were at the 4 rep range were more of the easy gainers, all that fast twitch muscle fiber. They walk by a weight room and it's like they literally grow because all those fast twitch muscle fibers just primed to grow. Then you have people on the other side of 21, that don't grow as well. So here's kind of what you say. Like think about it like the stereotypical, kind of hard-on high school football coach that doesn't really, maybe know what he's doing, might be like, all right, today, man, what we're going to do, we're going to get in the weight room. We're going to do 85% for 5 sets of 5, okay? So in theoretically, it sounds good, but, the problem is for the guy that's getting 20, or girl that's, getting 21 reps, 5 sets of 5 at 85% is nothing. It's so easy. So if you're only doing 4% at 80%, well, you sure as hell ain't can do 5 sets of 5 at 5% heavier when you can't even do a set of 5 with 5% less. So you can't arbitrarily assign the people the exact same workout. So that's what I do when I'm programming for people. A lot of times they don't know what I'm exactly doing here, and of what all these different tests I'm doing is looking at how well they do reps, how well they respond to volume, this and that. So here's kind of the key takeaway from it. If you're not very good at reps, like you're on that side of the continuum, like that 4 reps, you're going to do better. Generally, you don't have to lift as often, and you don't have to do as much volume because you are an easy gainer. But the flip side, you got to think of it like this, okay? So the hard gainers have been lied to for a long time. They've been told they don't have to do hardly anything. Like, what? If we do, like those old school, like hard gainer magazines by like Stuart McRobert was saying, like, basically train 1 or 2 days a week and you do like, 5 total sets, that kind of stuff. Or, Mike Mintzer's type of training is saying it's more for hard gainers, and that's not true. Think about it. If your IQ is 80 and you want to work for NASA, are you going to study more or study less? Of course you're going to study more. Same thing applies here. What other field, if your genetics are not optimal to make gains in something, would you do less? This is no different. So if you are a hard gainer, there is some blessing here because you can get away with more volume, you can get away with more frequency. So people that have trouble gaining, they do better with higher amounts of volume, they do better with higher amounts of intensity. They can do both more because the person that's a fast gainer is so neurologically dialed in that it's going to take them so long to recover. So if you have them do some crazy high frequency, high volume program, they're going to throw themselves on the ground. So that's a lot of times, even like you watch like NFL players, you'll watch like somebody, some great running back and think they're half-assing it in practice. They're not. If they actually sprinted full out, their hamstrings would be sore for a long time. They're that dialed in neurologically. So someone that dialed in neurologically can't do all that volume. But somebody that is not, you have an opportunity. You can do more. You can train harder and help level it out. So there you have hard gainers. You have to do more volume, more intensity. Good luck. We love you.